This explainer is brought to you by the Other Way Marshall Consulting. All right, let's jump right in. We live in a world that is obsessed with the grind, right? The hustle, the visible signs of effort. But what if the real path to mastery isn't about adding more attention, but about learning how to let it all go? Think about it. From the gym to the office, we're taught this really simple but maybe flawed equation. Strain equals strength. We see the gritted teeth, the clenched fists, these tense muscles, and we think, yep, that's power. That's what effectiveness looks like. It's this belief we all have that to get more, you have to try harder, you have to push more. But here's the paradox, isn't it? When you look at a true master, a musician, a top-tier athlete, a skilled artist, their movements aren't strained at all. They're fluid, they're graceful, it almost looks easy. There's no wasted motion, no sign of a struggle. So what on earth do they know that we don't? Well, the answer lies in a concept called kyo, or passive energy. It is an incredibly powerful method for reaching a much deeper level of mastery. Now, while we define this concept in our glossary at the Other Way Marshall Consulting, here we're going to explore what it really means and how to apply it. See, kyo isn't about being weak. It's about finding the most intelligent form of strength. So, what is this paradox all about? Well, it really boils down to understanding that the biggest thing holding us back from our own power is, well, it's often ourselves. The main culprit, the number one thief of your speed and power, is something called antagonistic muscle tension. I want you to imagine trying to drive a car with one foot slammed on the gas and the other foot pressing the brake at the exact same time. That's basically what most of us are doing with our own bodies, creating this self-imposed resistance without even having a clue. And this, right here, just illustrates the difference perfectly. Over on the left, you've got your typical tense movement. It's an internal tug-of-war. Your bicep tries to pull, but your tricep is also tense, so it's fighting back. It's just wildly inefficient. It burns through your energy and puts a hard ceiling on your speed. But then, on the right, you have Kyo. Here, the power comes from your skeleton, from good alignment. The muscles are relaxed, they're ready, not fighting each other. And the result? Movement that's fluid, adaptable, and just incredibly efficient. This quote really says it all, doesn't it? Picture a dry, rigid twig. You put a little pressure on it, and it just snaps. Now think about a green, supple branch. It bends, it absorbs that force, and then it springs right back. Kyo is all about transforming your body from that rigid, fragile twig into that supple, resilient branch. All right, so let's build on that. To get to this state of supple strength, we have to start with the physical foundation. And it begins not with doing more, but with noticing more. And the absolute key to this is something called somatic awareness. This is your ability to listen to your body from the inside out. It's the skill of scanning your own system and pinpointing where you're holding on to all that unnecessary tension. Are your shoulders slowly creeping up towards your ears? Is your jaw clenched tight? Becoming aware of that? That's the absolute starting point for everything else. And once you can notice the tension, you can start working with these core ideas. First, find your rooted centeredness, realizing that real power starts from your core, your center, not from your limbs. Second, trust your structural integrity. Let your skeleton do the heavy lifting so your muscles can stay relaxed and ready for action. And third, focus on eliminating resistance. You want every movement to follow the path of least resistance, to feel as natural and easy as possible. Okay, so we've got the physical part down. But as we start to release all that tension in the body, something pretty remarkable starts to happen in the mind. The two, it turns out, are completely connected. And this is so crucial. When you relieve your body of its pointless physical burden, you also relieve your mind of its pointless cognitive burden. That constant background noise of physical tension just fades away. And what's left is a mind that is clear, open, and receptive. You're shifting from labored, conscious effort to a state of spontaneous, perfect response. This can lead to a state that's known in martial arts as mushin, or no mind. Now, this isn't about being zoned out or unconscious. It's actually the complete opposite. It's a heightened state of awareness where you're not getting bogged down by your ego, or by trying to predict what's next, or by overthinking everything. Your mind is just quiet, present, and totally available to what's happening right now. And that, right there, is the ultimate goal. It's the unification of these two states. You have Kyo, the supple, ready body, and Mushin, the alert, receptive mind. When those two become one, You start operating in a state of flow, where the perfect action just happens without you even having to think about it. Now, this might sound like some far-off, mystical goal, but it's not. It's a trainable skill. It's a journey, and like any real journey, it has a beginning. And the goal of this journey isn't just about performing one specific technique perfectly. It's so much bigger than that. It's about developing a fundamental adaptability. It's about becoming a free-thinking person who can respond effectively and efficiently to whatever life decides to throw at you. But let's be real for a second. At first, trying to relax when you feel like you need to be powerful, it feels completely wrong. It's awkward, it's confusing, but that feeling, that's actually a good sign. It means your brain is working hard to build new neural pathways, literally overwriting a lifetime of conditioning that told you tension equals power. And then, the breakthrough comes. It's that moment when you're not even trying to get it right, you're just doing. And all of a sudden, a movement unfolds perfectly with the speed and power you didn't even know you had. And it all happens without any conscious thought. It just flows. That's your first real taste of Kai. To learn more about how these principles apply to personal safety and to see our full range of training options, visit The Other Way Martial Consulting at theotherway.biz. All right, now let's actually engage with this concept directly. We're going to do a little mental exercise. It's something you can do right now, wherever you are, just to get a feel for this foundational skill. Let's try what we call the 1-minute somatic tension scan, okay? First, just bring your awareness into your body. Start at your feet and just scan upwards. Simply notice where you're holding tension. Is it in your legs, your lower back maybe? Now consciously allow your shoulders to just drop away from your ears. Let gravity do the work. Let your arms hang heavy. Next, soften all the muscles in your face. Unclench your jaw. Relax the space between your eyebrows. And finally, if you find a specific spot that's really tense, just breathe into it. And with every exhale, just visualize that knot of tension dissolving away. See? This simple scan is exactly how it starts. This isn't just some relaxation trick, it's active training. You are cultivating somatic awareness, and that is the essential skill that opens the door to developing Kyo and unlocking that effortless, powerful state in everything you do. And that really brings us back to the core takeaway of all this. It's a complete reframing of what it even means to be strong. True, lasting strength comes from stopping the internal battle. The greatest strength is found not in what we exert, but in what we choose to release. Thank you for watching this explainer from The Other Way Martial Consulting. We hope you found a new perspective on the true nature of strength and mastery.